That first second you jump out of the plane, you're dying. There are no better words to describe this. You are literally dying. It's that roller coaster feeling of your entire organs just coming back up times 100. But you know what? After that 1 second, what's up folks, it's Uranus, we're in Brussels, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the best, if not the best day of my life. The day I finally overcame my fear of height and I went skydiving with my younger brother. See, I have a genuine fear of height since I'm a child. Like, put me on this chair right here and I will start to have chicken skin. This is what I look like in a cable car next to my girlfriend. I literally have to hold myself and you do not want to be smelling me. Now, to my defense, that specific cable car was the steepest cable car in the entirety of Europe and I did not talk very much for the entire way down. So how the hell did I make it 4,200 meters in the air, strapped to another man's ballsack, the wrong way up, in an airplane with the fucking door open? Well, I'll tell you exactly how and I will show you the video because all of this was filmed and it was seriously one of the best days ever. It literally gave me a lot of confidence to overcome this fear. Alright, c'est parti. So just a tiny bit of background. Before I skydived in 2018, I was going through a slump in my life. I really had a tough time. I was in my 4th year of medically induced puberty. I was 29. I had just had sex for the first time and I fell in love with the wrong chick. Like, they all told me, Uranus, don't fall in love with your first one, don't fall in love. And of course I was like, yeah, I know, I'm not gonna fall in love, man. And yeah, I did, and I really had a tough time. I was depressed and I was dragging ass for months and I really needed something to get out of my comfort zone. I even had dirty bulk and I gained a lot of fat compared to the year before. So I really needed to get out of there because my head was stuck wherever it was stuck. I was watching daily motivational videos and on one specific day I fell on a video from Oscar slapping actor Will Smith. I love that man, by the way. I'm a 90s kid and I grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So in that video titled What Skydiving Taught Me About Fear, he's sharing his amazing experience that he had about skydiving and about the fear that he felt before going to skydive and how his own mind was messing with him because everything that you actually ever wanted is behind that fucking fear barrier. That evening I went out with my best friend and I told him about the skydiving idea that I had and I asked him what he thought about skydiving together. And the guy looked at me like, do you have a death wish or something? Do you want to die? Never in my life am I doing that shit and you don't have the balls to do that anyway. And I will always be thankful for him for saying that to me because we didn't talk about it anymore that evening, but it literally lit a fire in me. Never tell me that I don't have the balls to do something. Trust me, they're small, but they're there. So the next morning I woke up and the first thing I did was book 2 plane tickets. And it's actually the first time I booked a one-way ticket. My younger brother was going to celebrate his 20th birthday and I thought it would be a gift that we would always remember. So I gave him the envelope and you should have seen his face when he opened it and he saw Skydive Spa. I would literally pay money to see that face again. He thought it was gonna be a PlayStation Network card or something like that. Who the hell gives a PlayStation Network card for a 20th birthday gift anyway? So in the middle of the summer we drove to the other side of Belgium, which is like 90 minutes for us. Again, it's Belgium, it was supposed to be good weather that day, but we arrived and it was pouring rain and hail from the sky. So I thought we were going to receive a safety brief for a couple of hours or some kind of training, but basically none of that. I went into some office to sign some papers, give them money, basically sign them that you cannot sue them if you break your neck or any other bones, and then we had to wait in a hangar for 2 hours. All skydivers from that afternoon had to wait in the same hangar for the weather to clear. So there were like 20 people waiting in that hangar. And by that time, me and my brother were still chilling, making jokes, listening to G-Eazy and so on. But then the weather clears and you're told to put on some very smelly suit on and the first group is off to skydive. Now that is the first time you have a rise in adrenaline and fear, is when that first group is coming back into the hangar and they lay down all the parachutes on the floor in front of you and you realize there is one person that manually has to roll all the suits and the cords back into the backpack. Somehow I never really realized that it was an actual person doing that job. I didn't know. That's when shit became real, when the dude was rolling the suits right in front of our feet. Now, of course, we were the very last group to skydive, so the plane landed and we got called over by our 2 instructors. It's at that specific moment I realized not me and my brother had received any word of explanation yet. It's only once we got on the freaking airplane, strapped to another man, that we received some kind of safety briefing and some explanation. Being strapped to another man still sounds quite funny when you explain it like that, right? That is my brother behind me, by the way. The thing is, and not a lot of people know this about me, but I don't hear very well when there's a lot of sounds around me or when my girlfriend is trying to talk to me before I had my breakfast. So basically, up there in the plane, it is of course extremely loud, and with the stress and everything, I probably only understood 50% of what my instructor was actually telling me. But I understood where to put my hands when we were jumping and where I had to put my legs during the jump behind me, and I understood what to do once he was going to give me the signal to spread my wings and to open my arms. I also understood that for the landing you had to pick up your legs to fall on your ass and not put your legs straight on the floor if you didn't want to walk with crutches for the rest of your freaking days. By the way, people that do their first skydive solo are absolutely nuts. I would never do it solo. Then you slowly but surely drag your ass towards the door that is open, and for a second or two you just sit there with your legs outside of the airplane with nothing underneath you but Belgium. And that specific exact moment, I swear I will never forget in my life. Like, I am the shyest kid from Brussels. I went through puberty 10 years later than I normally should have been, after years of depression, sickness, anxiety, isolation, and so on. And there I was, sitting on the edge of a freaking plane. And in that moment, I completely let go of my fear. I was going to enjoy this. I was smiling from the joy of what I was doing. And then without any warning, without any countdown, your instructor just pushes you over, because if there is a countdown, apparently people tend to grab things out of anxiety. That first second you jump out of the plane, you're dying. There are no better words to describe this. You are literally dying. It's that roller coaster feeling of your entire organs just coming back up times 100. But you know what? After that 1 second, you're fucking flying. It is the most amazing and unique feeling you will ever feel. You are literally flying. Nothing even comes close to that sensation, that feeling of freedom and just pure bliss, and the kick that you're getting out of it. Now you reach terminal velocity, which for my heaviest body is just about 200 kilometers per hour. Of course you have goggles on, otherwise you couldn't see shit. Also your face looks a bit like a science experiment because of the wind, but the view, the sensations, I can barely describe it how good it was. You're flying, and there was no fear whatsoever after that first second. You're flying. Or at least for 45 seconds. Then your suit opens, well, preferably, and you better not have a testicle misplaced or something like that, because those cords around your legs are really tight. I actually had blue spots on my legs afterwards because of the tightness of the thing when it opens. So you better not have anything misplaced. Now at that point you're still over 1,000 meters in the air, and the view is just breathtaking. Now my instructors gave me the control of the cords of the parachute, and we fooled around a little bit, pulling left and right, and at one point I remember we caught some wind and we were basically flying horizontally with the suit instead of vertically, and it was amazing. But I wasn't inventing this shit. I still have a fear of height, and it was still there. That part in the parachute was actually scarier than the fall itself, because you're just hanging there with your legs, well, basically with nothing underneath you in the air. So I was scared, but I still managed, and I had a great time. Then the instructor is taking control back over the cords and the suit. He's of course finding the correct landing spot, not on the hanger but on the the grass next to the airfield, and there was no wind, so it was easy to land on my fat ass. I will always remember that day, because sometimes you think that you have a real limit, and it actually turns out that that limit is where shit starts. It is not where it ends, it is where it starts. Letting go of that fear that day is one of the best things I've ever done. Mentally, it gave me an edge and a confidence I even used in dating, in business, in relationships, and so on. Like, I grew mentally a lot because of that day. Whenever I feel down, it happens sometimes, you know, with the fluctuations of life, I think about that day, and I always have a good freaking time. It's a day we will always remember, me and my brother. Big balls to him. By the way, he was 20 years old. I probably would have never done this when I was 20 years old. Had somebody paid me a ticket at 20 years old, I would have probably never spoken to that person again. So big balls to him. And the thing is, I could show you my brother's video when he was falling and so on, but the man is in a relationship and he would probably like to keep it that way. So I will not be able to show you that footage. So guys, if I can get out of my comfort zone, so can you. I really never thought I would do this in my life, and I probably would have never done it had somebody not told me that I didn't have the balls to do these kinds of things. It's like a switch that needs to happen in your mind. I never thought I would have this physique. I never thought I would be dating. I never thought I would have a girlfriend. I never thought I would travel. I never thought I would skydive. I never thought I would do so many things. I never thought I would be strapped to another man. That still sounds fucking weird, man, you know. I did so many great things, and it's all behind that invisible fear barrier that you have inside of your own head. I skydived again with my girlfriend 2 years later. Of course, it was during COVID time and we had to wear a mask. I don't know why up there you would want to wear a mask, but whatever, we still had a great time. Now, I still have a fear of height, but I would skydive any freaking day of my life. It is just that amazing feeling, and it really gives you a kick. Alright, ending it here, guys. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments. Let me know if you have any experience with skydiving and so on. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Uranus out.